Welcome to the Zach on Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Zach Hughes. Today's episode is entitled The AI Episode. I'm not the quickest to comment on the latest tech trends. I read, I pay attention, I experiment, I take it all in. I read the hot takes just like everyone else. Artificial intelligence is a hot topic to say the least. I've intentionally waited a while to give my opinion some time to settle into shape. Enough time has passed, and I'm ready to share my insights. Of course, as always, this is more about the technology leadership issues than the technology itself. So here we go. This is the AI episode. Large language models. Artificial intelligence capabilities such as machine learning have been commonplace for some time. That may have been a cool podcast episode topic 5 years ago, but not today. Our company has been putting machine learning to work for years, and yours probably has been too. The new element here is the large language model, or LLM. The most popular one is ChatGPT, which launched late last year. It ramped to 1 million users in just 5 days and now boasts an estimated 100 million active users. Through a simple chatbot interface, ChatGPT can generate elaborate and unique content. This is brand new. And with all new things, sometimes we react in funny ways. First, we'll discuss some problematic leadership responses, then we'll find our way to an appropriate position. Don't block it. I'm amazed at the knee jerk response of tech leaders to block what they don't understand or what they cannot completely control. It always comes across as weak leadership to me. I also find it ironic, since we are supposed to be the futuristic people. First, blocking rarely works. Sure, you can block it on the corporate firewall, but people can just use it on their phones. All emergent technologies have a mixed bag of benefits and risks. It doesn't make sense to mitigate some of the risks by depriving yourself of all of the benefits. It makes more sense to set a guideline and educate people instead. I'm old enough to have lived through the BlackBerry to iPhone Android transition. When iPhone Android first came out, it wasn't nearly as secure or corporate friendly as the BlackBerry. Not by a long shot. It was, however, very appealing to end user productivity, and that was enough to easily win the war. Folks, let's not repeat history. I remember the tech leaders that lovingly clung to their Blackberries, espousing the risks of unmanaged iPhone and Android phones. I don't think it worked out too well for them in the end. Don't anthropomorphize it. AI isn't a person, it's a tool. It's a tool built on an expansive base of human knowledge. If it were a person, it would be the most unoriginal, boring person on the planet because it's designed to be average. Real people aren't average. We're all unique and quirky in our own way. AI is a powerful tool, but it's a long way from personhood. It can generate content, but it is not creative. Know the difference. I realize that AI pushes this boundary. The most impressive example I've witnessed was AI finishing a symphony from a dead composer. The AI used the composer's previous works as training data and picked up where he left off to finish the piece. I listened to the symphony played in Carnegie Hall by Juilliard students. There's nothing about it that seemed computer generated. I'll argue that the dead composer and the student musicians were the creative ones, not the machine. Now that we've covered a few positions to avoid, let's embrace the path forward. AI is a tool. When I write my articles, I use the assistance of a spell checker and a grammar checker. I'm not all that good at spelling and grammar without the computer. Should I add a disclaimer to my article that it was written by the assistance of a spell checker? No, I don't think so. I'm still the author. Sure, the computer helped, but not as a co creator. When I was in grade school, I was terrible at math. I knew how to do it, but I was painfully slow. When I got to junior high school, they let me use a calculator for rote math. Then I learned abstract math. I was fantastic at that. I doubled up on courses and eventually aced AP Calculus my senior year. AI is the new spell checker. It's a new calculator. It's a productivity enhancer. It's not cheating. It won't eliminate jobs. Well, it won't eliminate the jobs that are worth keeping. We don't have many workers building typewriters anymore either. Large language model AI is a major leap beyond calculators and spell checkers, but is still fundamentally a tool. Tools tend to make humans more productive and do not fundamentally replace people outright. And a quote from Santiago on Twitter: AI will not replace you, a person using AI will. AI has biases. Much has been written about the biases and ethics of large language models such as ChatGPT. If there's something that needs a disclaimer, this might be it, but for me, this is also expected. Some may think biases need to be added for ethical AI. Others think the biases programmed in are the ethical problem. Fortunately or unfortunately, the fact is all of our tools have biases in them. They are made by humans that have some sort of agenda. This also isn't new. Wikipedia articles are biased, but I'm still grateful for a free and easy to use online encyclopedia. Social media content moderation is biased. While it would be cool if those biases decided to boost my Zach on Leadership posts for a day so I could enjoy 15 minutes of fame, that's not the way the programmers designed it. Lastly, but most notably, the news is biased. We all know that, but we'd still rather be informed than live under a rock. So, yes, AI can act like a human and could manipulate you according to its programmed biases. That's not great. It's a risk. Here's the question to answer: is it so bad that we should shut it off completely? As a technologist, I think we should proceed with our eyes wide open. AI could destroy the world. It's a worst case scenario, but I've seen enough science fiction to keep an eye out for the uprising of our new AI overlords. A few weeks ago, a group of notable AI leaders authored a warning about the existential dangers of AI to humanity, recommending a pause for at least 6 months. Among the signatories was Elon Musk, who has been vocal about sounding the alarm on AI for some time now. He's one of the founders of OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, and he's also developing a brain computer interface called Neuralink, so there's that. The warning is salient and worth reading. However, I don't think development will stop for a millisecond. There's just too much to be gained. The technology leadership path forward. Tech leaders should simultaneously embrace AI while working to understand and mitigate the risks. On one extreme, you can try and resist it now and stick your head in the sand. On the other extreme, you can embrace it with wild abandon, driving us straight into the apocalypse. The best tech leaders are on the leading edge, carefully experimenting with eyes wide open. As always, the future is both exciting and dangerous. Proceed accordingly. We are the pioneers. That's our job. That's all for this week's episode of the Zach on Leadership podcast. Thanks for listening.